A cyclist bikes to work along a path so that she is moving at a velocity of v parentheses t equals t squared minus 2t minus 8. And this is written in meters per second. We want to find out the total distance she traveled in 7 seconds, starting with t equals 1 and ending with t equals 7. In addition, we want to know what her displacement is during the same period. First, we're going to look at total distance. Here is the graph for this problem. I have highlighted the positive and negative regions of the graph with a plus sign and a minus sign respectively. The first thing we're going to do is figure out at what point in time did the cyclist change direction. Because by looking at the graph, we notice that there is a point within the time interval where the region changed from negative to positive. By figuring out the time when the cyclist changed her direction, we will be able to figure out when to take the absolute value of the negative distance. We can find this value by factoring the velocity function, and we get the following factors. You can check if you got the right factors by multiplying out the factors when you're done, and you should get back the same velocity function. By looking at the factors, we can see that at the 4th second, the cyclist changed her direction because at t equals 4, the velocity function equals to 0. This means that we're going to break up our interval for our integral by going from the interval t equals 1 to t equals 4, and then from t equals 4 to t equals 7. After setting up our integrals, we're going to finish with computing and adding both of the integrals together. We'll use the power rule and get t to the 3rd power over 3 minus 2 times t to the 2nd power over 2 minus 8t. We can now evaluate this integral from two of the intervals. Remember that from the interval t equals 1 to t equals 4, we're going to take the absolute value of the result in order to sum up the total distance correctly. We evaluate the interval of the integral by putting 4 everywhere there's a t and do the same thing with 1, replacing all of the t with 1. Now do some algebra. Because the result is negative, we take the absolute value of that. Likewise, we're going to evaluate the interval with t equals 4 to t equals 7 the same way. The result we get is 36 meters. We add 18 to 36 and the total distance turns out to be 54 meters. And next we're going to look at displacement. We don't need to worry about the cyclist changing direction when we find her displacement. So we're going to just evaluate the interval from t equals 1 to t equals 7 to get the answer we want. We see that her displacement is 18 meters. I hope that you find this video helpful and see you next time.